Different date, same fate. I'ma knock out Jake Paul.
Mike Tyson is back to his usual self and sent warnings to Jake Paul after the problem child mocked his health condition. I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his life is dependent on it, because it will be with this fierceness fans can be at peace again after his medical condition and made many believe he wasn't fit enough for the fight. See me as an arrogant, which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world, and I do think that the older generation wants people to see Mike knock me out. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sir, that's the one, the baddest man on the planet. Iron Mike Tyson is back again with fierce warnings for Jake Paul. One more day 3, you still want to with me? And while it's sad that this warning wasn't coming from Tyson's gym, where he'd usually show some of his dangerous boxing skills before sending stern warnings to Jake Paul, Mike's and fans can make do with this for now, as Mike Tyson has been making very EU social media appearances after his recent medical condition caused a postponement of the fight, and it's some damage to the hopes of many looking forward to the fight to see Mike knock me out after being pushed off its initial July 20th date. The fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul has a new date. The pair will meet for their controversial bout on November 15th, a Friday at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Most Valuable Promotions announced on Friday the postponement came about due to a Tyson medical issue. While aboard a flight, Tyson became nauseous and dizzy 30 minutes prior to landing and required medical attention. His team eventually revealed that the issue was an ulcer flare. Obviously devastating news. I'm heartbroken, speechless, like gutted. We've been working so hard over here. This plane was met by first responders while Tyson's camp attributed the episode to an ulcer problem and said he would need to do light training for several weeks. And as a result, it was announced that the fight was being delayed. Tyson's recent ulcer flare-up has limited his ability to train fully for the next few weeks. The streaming giant, which was slated to live stream the fight in July, announced in a statement posted to X, "Everyone in this camp, and I just feel bad for everyone involved in this event. The whole undercard, this is opportunity, has been ripped." Netflix said the fight will be rescheduled for a date later this year after Mike's able to resume training with no limitations, and both fighters can have equal time to prepare. Paul's company, Most Valuable Promotions, also confirmed the news during a follow-up consultation on Thursday with medical professionals on his recent ulcer flare-up. The recommendation is for Mike Tyson to do minimal to light training over the next few weeks and then return to full training with no limitations. An official statement read at the time of the postponement.
Arrogant which I can be sometimes, but I'm just having fun and entertaining the world, and I do think that the older generation wants people to...
Both Mike and Jake are in agreement that it is only fair to ensure that both athletes have equal training time to prepare for this important match and are able to compete at the highest level. The new date of the fight will be announced by next Friday, June 7th. First announced in March, the fight was initially scheduled to take place in AT&T Stadium in Texas on July 20th. The 27-year-old Paul, a YouTube star who turned to pro boxing 4 years ago, has won 9 of his last 10 fights. Tyson, the undisputed world heavyweight champ from 1987 to 1990, retired in 2005. The 57-year-old suffered a medical emergency on a flight from Miami to Los Angeles Sunday due to an ulcer flare-up. His representative said in a statement, "Jake Paul, this man bought you some time, but in the end you will still be knocked out and out of boxing for good." Tyson said in a statement, "This is opportunity has been ripped from all of us, but I do value Mike's health first and foremost. I'm heartbroken, speechless, gutted. We've been working so hard over here," Paul said in a video posted to X a few days after. "I do value Mike's health first and foremost. Love that guy. I have so much respect for him. I'm ready whenever you are." Mike Tyson, who turns 58 on June 30th, had said, "Although we had to postpone the fight, I will resume training shortly. I am thankful to the medical staff that treated me into MVP, Netflix, and AT&T Stadium for working diligently to find the best rescheduled date for all parties," Tyson said in a statement released by Netflix. "While we have a new date, the result will be the same no matter when we fight. Jake Paul is getting knocked out." The fight was originally slated for a Saturday, but will be held on a Friday as the Cowboys prepare to host the Houston Texans in November 18th for Monday Night Football. "Our team has worked diligently with all parties involved to reschedule this monumental fight to a date that ensures both Jake Paul and Mike Tyson are fully prepared with equal training time, as well as allowing us to keep the event at AT&T Stadium in the midst of the Cowboy season," said Nekisa Bandarian, co-founder of Most Valuable Promotions. And now, after getting trolled as a result of his medical condition, Iron Mike Tyson has now sent warnings to Jake Paul in several videos. Jake Paul has laughed off Tyson's claims about knocking him out. "Oh, I'm certain I'm going to win out. I'm going to upheld, yeah. No like for sure, and it might just be easy actually. Ever since the fight was postponed, he had turned Mike Tyson into an absolute joke, which wasn't the case after the fight was earlier announced or during their first press conference, where Jake Paul admitted to being scared. As a result, Mike Tyson sent a message to Jake Paul. But not only him, he also sent a message to boxing fans who had been worried about his safety. Numerous boxing fans were left in suspense after the postponement of the highly anticipated bout between Mike Tyson and YouTuber turned boxer Jake Paul. New date, same place, same fate. In a recent video, Mike Tyson released a message that showed Mike Tyson's fans but threatened Jake Paul. In the clip, Tyson looked determined and threatens a brutal end to his opponent. Tyson's message has generated a wave of anticipation and fear in the boxing world as fans count down the days to see if Mike can deliver on his promise and leave an indelible mark on Jake Paul's career. Different date, same destination. I'm going to knock out Jake Paul. Different date, same fate. I'm a knockout Jake Paul. Once Tyson dropped the video, many of his fans saw their hope come alive as one commented, "Rip Jake Paul, you have less than 6 months to live. What'll befall? You will be worse than a heart attack." Another quit, "Even a paralyzed type will eat up Jake Paul. I have no doubts about this." Also, the third fan wrote, "I can't wait to see Jake Paul's back on the canvas, unconscious and with swollen eyes. He's not going to win. Look at, he can't even knock out Nick Diaz." Nick Diaz is 40 pounds. With the November date, the world can go back to the mix of fascination and disgust with which the fight has been viewed. Tyson will be 58 by the time the fight takes place, 31 years older than Paul. Tyson has also not had a professional fight since a loss to Kevin McBride in June 2005. He did participate in a competitive exhibition fight with fellow retired legend Roy Jones Jr. in 2020. "How are you going to knock me out?" Anderson Silva. "You didn't go and knock those little guys. How are you going to knock me out?" Well, the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation allowed Paul vs. to move forward as an officially licensed professional bout. The fight is set to feature special rules, including 8 2-minute rounds, rather than the standard 3-minute frame of professional boxing. I really like Jake a lot, but once he's in that ring, he has to fight like his IC is depending on its CU. It will be also both boxers will wear 14 gloves, which are larger than standard. As a result, not many seem too impressed with the idea of the fight, especially with Mike Tyson's recent health scare. First off, it still doesn't sound like UFC President Dana White is losing sleep over Mike Tyson vs. Jake Paul being postponed under any circumstances. An almost 60-year-old man shouldn't be fighting a 27-month-old guy. It's ridiculous. My biggest problem with the Jake Paul thing is, and how this plays out, is White has repeatedly criticized the boxing match despite his friendship with Tyson. White's latest rant on the matter might be his most explosive. When this fight happens, Tyson will be 58 freaking years old. White told the Flagrant podcast on Wednesday, "A freaking almost 60-year-old man shouldn't be fighting a 27-month-old guy under any circumstances, even if it's Mike Tyson." It's just freaking ridiculous. What the Jake Paul thing is and how this plays out is when he actually fought somebody who was a boxer who had the same type of record. He has White hammered home the 30-year age gap between Tyson and Paul. Tyson has not fought professionally since June 2005, despite battling Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition match in November 2020. The UFC boss also critic Paul's matchmaking. The YouTuber turned professional boxer elevated his stock primarily by boxing UFC fighters who were a combination of older, smaller, or lacked traditional boxing experience. That's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on the bell for the latest notifications so that you never miss out on videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.